Greetings. Back once again working on the Enterprise, and yeah, after having a bit of a break, and I needed the break. I was starting to dant. I was starting to give up on making a 537 scale Enterprise, but the break did me good, and sometimes that's what you need. So, yeah, back once again working on the Enterprise, and you know what? Um, I'm never going to say that this is a good kit. Okay, it's old. It's a repop. It needs retooling. But actually, I'm at a point now whereby I am starting to enjoy it again. But you know, let's leave it at that and let's get into the video. Okay, so I'm back working on the nacelles, and I'm just doing some final touches on these things. As you can see, I'm doing a bit of filling just to make sure the seams are well hidden. I'm not really worried about this bit here because one of the simplest corrections that I have to do to this is I have to add a strip of styrene across the top there that sits on there like this. So yeah, it's just a really thin piece of styrene, and yeah, it just sits on top of the engine there, and that's one of the easiest corrections to do. So I'm trying to do this one-handed, but there you go. So yeah, it just sits on top of the engine. It's the sort of like the flat top to the engine. But yeah, it's one of those little improvements that you can just do really, really easily. So I got the tops on now, and the tops of the engines are now filled and sanded as well. So they're looking pretty nice. It's time to move on, I think, to masking the windows on the star drive and getting this ready for light proofing, and then I think we start laying on a white coat, I think. So yeah, I'm just putting UV resin into all the windows. So first things first is I give it a wipe down with a damp kitchen towel just to get any dust off. Then yeah, I just put a blob in each window. Give that a wipe off as well with a Q-tip, and then just hit it with a UV light, and then let it cure for a second. And then what I'm doing is actually taking it to my UV curing station and just hitting it full on for about 20 minutes then to cure. So what I got here is my test sheet, and basically I didn't want to do any more waste. So basically I've just cut the masks out of my test sheet here, and they're about 1.85 millimeters for the windows, and about 3 millimeters wide for the oval one. So it's tricky doing this one-handed. I'm just lifting them up whenever I can, and then just sticking over where the windows are. But there we are. I'm going to crack on with this. So I've got the bridge applied to the top of the saucer now, and this is going to need a little bit of filling on the edge just to seal it properly to the top, and just tidy up the join. But that's that. And obviously I've got all the fiber optics in place there. So if I take the top off there, you can see I've got all the lights wired in for these here, and I've got the impulse engines wired in ready. I've got the impulse engine here, which is masked off, so that'll be going on after I put the top of the saucer on. I've also got some of the extra lights that I need. This is going to be the strobe beacon for the bridge. This one is going to be going in under here for the under dome lights. And I've got another one here, which is going to be going up into the top of the saucer to light up the bridge lights. So, yeah, so that's these ready to go. Am I missing any other lights? Oh yeah, and of course I've got one on the thing here, which is going to be the nav lights. Those are all going to, where all these fiber optics are going to be fed into. So yeah, so that's that. I've had to give the Enterprise another sanding because I wasn't happy with how some of the joins were working out, and it's a new coat of matte black as well, so it's looking all very light proofed. So yeah, this is how it's currently at. So the next thing to do now is to get all the LEDs wired in, tested, and then I can seal this thing up and we can start putting a white coat on this thing. I can't wait to do it. So just quickly, I've put a new LED in the top there, just to add the illumination to the bridge. I've also filled these with UV resin, just so that there's some sort of lens in there as well. I think it looks quite good. But I've also done it to the back end here, where we got these two spotlights either side of the airlock. And I think they look alright as well. But the best part is, even the lights inside the airlock are now working as well. So hopefully you can see that. But yeah, you can see the airlock lights are actually lit as well. So yeah, very happy with that. Finally got the top of the saucer on, and it was epoxied on, and it was a bit stressful because when I was putting it on, I was kind of squashing the fiber optics and things like that. So hopefully things still work. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to power it up, which I'll do a bit later on. But for right now, I'm going to just take the clamps off now, and hopefully that's held in place. You can see what I've done here is where I've put the saucer together. I've done a lot of filling, but you'll notice that I've also had to fill over some of the windows as well. So that's just a bit of a problem. It's kind of like firefighting, you know. You put out one fire and you start another one, and it's you're constantly with this kit. You're making very 2 steps forward and 1 step back, 2 steps forward a moment, 1 step back. But look, it is generally starting to look like the Enterprise now, right? I mean, it's been a fight, and it's been more work than I probably intended on doing, but it is getting somewhere now. and it is actually starting to look okay. I don't think it's ever going to look brilliant, but you know, it depends on how much work you're willing to put in, I suppose. But it does mean with a kit like this, you do have to put in more work than you should. But yeah, I'm going to let all this filler harden, and I'm probably going to leave it till tomorrow now. And then I'm going to have to sand it all off, and then go over it with black, and then go over it again with white, and all that nonsense. There are other areas I can do now, whereby I can actually apply the impulse engine to the back area here. So let me take that off if it falls over. I'm not impressed with the way this sits on the stand, you know. It doesn't do anything for me, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I can apply the impulse engine to there. And I can probably fit the shuttle bay now as well. Though I've left the shuttle bay off because I do want to actually get in here and do some detail painting and all that as well. So I'll probably do that first before that. But I can't do the detail painting until this. So it's working out which order to do things. There we are. So I've sanded the edge down, and you can see whereby some of the windows have been filled, and that's okay. That's fine. That's to be expected. Yeah, some of the seams on this were worse than I was expecting, but you know they're taken care of now. It's solving one problem at a time. So yeah, I think you know obviously I've got a lot of dust on here as well, so this got to be cleaned now. But I'm happy with the fact that it's starting to take shape and it's starting to get beaten to look like the Enterprise. Yeah, it's coming along. So the next thing now I think is going to be to clear all this crap out of all the windows, remask them, and repaint the edge. I'll clean this up first, repaint the edge, and then go from there and see if we can't start laying on some final paint. The nav lights are on. I'm going to come around this way. So you should be able to see. There you go. You can see the front nav light there. And that one down there. And these two there, here. I mean, I need to scrape the paint off them, but at least you can see they're functioning. There you go. There's the bridge strobe as well. That's working fine. And again, that's been masked, so that's got a layer of paint on it. So when I take the paint off that, it should be nice and bright, but it's already quite bright as it is. So yeah, happy with that. So I've got the main internal lights powered up, and as you can see, I've got light leaks in plenty of places, all over the place, but it's not looking awful. I'm expecting it around the deflector dish because that's not secured in place, but there are some through the base of the neck there, and obviously around these windows here. Look at it, it's awful. But it's easy to take care of. I've got some light leaks through the nacelles. That was expected. So that's going to be an easy fix. But overall, it's not as bad as I was expecting. Yeah. So I think the next job now is to do the windows, to repaint all this. And then I think once all the light leaks are taken care of and I'm happy with how the body is looking, I think I can give it a coat of white over it and then start the detail painting. I think we're on the final stretch. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Yeah, it's at a bizarre point now whereby I can kind of see it, on the home stretch kind of thing. There's still a lot of work to do. There's still panel lines that I can still see even after all the sanding I've given it. So I'm gonna have to go back over it again and take them out. And I'm not happy with some of the fits. I'm never gonna be happy with some of the fits, but it is what it is. I'm trying to make the best of what it is that I've got. But I'm a lot happier now with it than I was when I first started. So yeah, it's definitely got me putting a smile on my face now, which is something I did not have midway through this. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this, and you'll join me in the next one where we'll see how far we get. Until then, take care. See you next time.